Untitled Smiles with Dr. Denise Markoff and her awesome team. And so we're going to go and take a great tour of the office and ask some questions and talk to this month's practice of the month. Let's go. Markoff, let's do a quick little tour of the office here. You can give us a little background on what you do.
We're very efficient. We have a very efficient use of space. We have 4 ops in under 1,000 square feet.
Wow.
And
pan
we'd
around
like
here
a
real
5th
quick.
op or a 6th op, but we decided not to buy the building next door. We're a classic Baltimore row house.
Got it.
And we squeeze our hygienist back in the back.
So they get the 2 rooms in the back.
That's right.
That is perfect. Now, you've been here in this part of town for
24 years.
24 years. So you started here
Yes.
in the neighborhood.
Well, I was out of dental school for about 5 years before I opened practice.
Very
I
good.
did start from scratch.
And started across the street, right?
Yes.
And then bought the building here and been here for 22 years. There are no shortage of dentists in Baltimore. So what have you done to differentiate yourself and make your practice stand out?
I think giving personalized care is kind of a thing that's used an awful lot, and I'm not so sure people get it, but I feel like half of my responsibility in my business is to my team, and my team feels that way toward the patients because of that. So they talk about us being a family, and I think that trickles down to our patients as well.
So you've got a team that's been with you, let's see, 17 years, 13 years, 10 years, 7 years. They're a family bunch. What do you do for them that you think makes the difference? And I'm going to ask them that question too, but
Sure.
what do you think you do that makes a difference?
Well, I'm always looking for ways for them to do better. And if I sat down with one of my assistants last week and talked to her about doing something else and leaving a practice if she had to, because I thought it was better for her and her son, she's a single mom, to be in a situation where she could make more money. And she's thought about hygiene school, and if she does that, we're going to support her the best we can. And that's not the first time that's happened. My first, probably my 3rd chairside assistant is now working as a hygienist somewhere else. But I tease with people and say, what's best for them is best for us.
You got their
so
best.
I like that stewardship leader thing.
And I had a little chat with them before we started this, and they said they feel like a family here.
Yeah.
And that's because they got a good leader.
Right.
You've done Smiles for Life for several years, very consistent donor to Smiles for Life. Tell us a little bit about what you've done that has made the biggest difference there in what you've been able to, the money you've been able to raise and the impact in the community.
We've advertised. We did a radio spot this year, but the team, I was fortunate enough to have patients that were involved in television, so we've gotten 4 TV shows or spots. The girls get really enthusiastic about it and put flyers out on cars, and we sold pizzas one year, the year we were going to the Dominican Republic,
yeah.
Pizza kits, and just a lot of things. We just talk it up to patients. Everybody in the neighborhood knows now about it, and some still come in, and
yeah.
I love it because people that wouldn't ordinarily whiten their teeth will do it because it's charity. And tooth whitening is such a great thing for anybody.
Yeah.
But it really opens it up to people that might think it's just silly because it's for loss.
And I noticed you even painted your windows with the Smiles for Life logo characters
Kimmy
on there.
does that every year.
That's very cool.
It's fun.
If you were to go back, in your history in dentistry, you've been at this for a while. What would you say are the things that you've done that have made the biggest difference in how you practice dentistry and what you've been able to accomplish?
I was involved with the practice management group pretty early in my practice. They're the ones that, and it was through them that I learned about boot camp. boot camp was a big thing because the business part of the practice isn't my favorite.
Yeah.
And that opened up a lot of information to me on others continuing ed courses. I have done an occlusion continuum. I've done a lot of things that everybody else has done. I am now a mentor in the Gordon Christensen program, which I don't think the program is a great program for long-term growth, but it's a great program to keep up. We evaluate products, and being able to email Gordon and ask him questions, not a bad thing.
Gotcha.
And we have a core of about 30 mentors, and it's a great group too. Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together.
That's
I heard
right.
that somewhere before.
All right, so we're actually down in the basement of the practice. This is the storage room and all things wonderful. So we're down here out of the traffic pattern. Now we get the real truth. So this is Chris and Angie. Chris, you've been with Dr. Markoff
almost 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
Angie?
15 years.
15 years.
Yes.
Okay. So I asked you this question earlier, and I'm gonna ask you to repeat the answer and add to it. You both have been here for a long time, and longer than most dental team. A lot of team members stay with the practice. So why here? What is it that makes this a great place to work?
You want me to go first? Because we are a family. We treat each other like family. Dr. Markoff genuinely cares about each and every one of us. We've all had some serious crisis in our lives, me more than most, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
And she still has us here and puts up with it, and she just genuinely cares about us.
Yeah. Well, I always tell patients, it makes such a difference because I commute in about 45 minutes on a good day. They say, why can't you find a dentist closer to home? And I always say it makes such a difference working for somebody who loves what they do.
Yeah.
And it rubs off on everybody. And she's done so much for us to bring us closer, to build a better practice, and it's great to be a part of that.
Can you share with us what she's done? Just a couple of examples of things she's done to build the team. And
we've done several levels of different dental boot camps.
Yeah.
We've done annual events. We do little team games in the office where, for referrals, we throw a little paper in and then count them up, and then whoever has the most gets the gift card for the grocery store.
Yeah.
And
She
so
keeps it fun.
She does keep it fun, and patients pick up on that when they walk in, and then when they make comments, we totally feed off of that. So
Right.
we love hearing that we're fun and we're connected. So.
And you all went to the Dominican Republic together
We
to
did.
do the humanitarian work down there. What kind of an impact did that have on you as a team?
I personally thought it was amazing. Angie almost
Yes.
didn't go. She had a new baby that was only a couple months old, but we talked her into it because we told her.
And I'm glad I went, because
Yeah.
it was definitely a life-changing experience
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
To go down there and see people lined around the block to do what you can, and then to come back and have people calling about emergencies for floss getting stuck in their teeth, and you're like, really, floss? Do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
But it was definitely brought us a lot closer to work together in the conditions that we did, and just to stick by each other and cheer, and just to see all of our team members in different places. Like, there were some people doing sterilization, the assisting, the hygienist, and all walking around like, how's it going? And just cheering it, how's your work going? And showing off like different things that we did, and just meeting the other offices from all over the country that came. It was so bonding with everybody. We felt really connected
Very cool.
while we were there. It was awesome.
All right, if you were speaking to a group of dentists, what would you tell them based on what you've learned from Dr. Markoff and her leadership style? What advice would you give them to retain and keep the best team members?
Listen to your team members. She always asks us what's working, what's not working, and listen. She listens, and it's always about what can we do to make changes as a team, and it's always she listens to
And
what
she
we
cares.
have to say, and she really cares, definitely.
Really cares.
Yeah.
What would be one thing that you would that you wish you would have known earlier?
Okay. I think I should have considered demographics a lot more when I opened my practice.
Okay.
I have made a lifestyle choice here. I lived across the street. I lived 3 blocks away before. We are physically surrounded. We're on a peninsula surrounded by water. So we have had to work hard, and we're in a transient area, which is fine, but we have had to work harder on building and keeping a practice. We are constantly building. So I would probably give somebody advice to stay in an area where you can draw on more people. And I've talked to other people in business in this community, and they see the same
thing. Not just dentists, but all other kind of businesses
the
have the
hardware
same.
store guy up the street. But it's okay. It's worked out really well for me. I'm happy here. We have a great group of people, and we have a fee-for-service practice, and it works.
In addition, clinically, real quick, if you were talking to a patient and you were telling about all the different kinds of things that you do here, what would you tell them?
Well, we have a great perio program, thanks to Pat. That has worked out very, very well for us. Since we'll start with the foundation and go up. We do Invisalign. I've been doing Invisalign probably for 10 years, maybe a little less. I can't. We were trying to figure that out last week. I love doing sedation. It's very rewarding for the patients and us.
And you're doing radio advertising for that to
Yes.
bring in new patients? Good.
Yeah, and that does help us get people from other places in the city.
Yeah.
And I think I was always a dental materials geek when I was in dental school. There aren't many of those.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why. So I feel like people can come here and know that we're using what at least CR considers the best materials that are out there, and they've had the longest research. And I think that's important for people to know. I mean, some people could care less. We know those letters.
Yeah.
But I think people get comfort from that, and we tell people that at least the C's and the how much research has been done.
Right. What would you say is the one or two things that add the most meaning to your work? I know you. I've known you for a long time, and I know you come to work for something beyond just the money.
The money for me is not the deal.
So what is it that adds the most meaning for you to what you do?
Well, I've already said that I like feeling like I'm supporting the younger people that work with me. And I just like providing. I love what I do. There's just no getting around it. I was talking to one of my 2 granddaughters' brownie troop, and I asked them, how many of you guys like to do crafts? And they went, and I said, I get to do crafts all day. But you get to take something that doesn't, and it's not always immediate, as we all know. The good stuff takes a while. But you get to make something a lot nicer and make somebody a lot healthier.
And that makes making a difference in somebody else's life. And you do that very well with your team and your patients and even people around the world. That you've taken your team to the Dominican Republic and done some great things.
Yeah.
Great. Any other parting comments you'd like to share?
I'd like to thank the Crown Council.
Very good.
They've been a great support mechanism. Even though I do read postings on the email network. I don't comment very often. That's the introvert version of my personality. But it's been a great organization. We love Smiles for Life. We love doing the Dominican thing. We love the annual event. And the annual event is so good to get your team involved and really pumped up. And we've kind of drifted off from that, and that's why we're going to try hard to come out next year.
And you and your husband Fran have even ridden motorcycles with us too. Pretty amazing motorcycle riders. That is great.
It's
Perfect.
a great trip.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.